Welcome to more Primal. We left off in the Colosseum. Just after Jen's life was protected by her hulking, gorgeous gargoyle, who has now been reduced to his usual tutorial troll. We'll miss you. Big, tough gargoyle version of Scree, who is essentially dead now. But we have much more to do. Many more things to render essentially dead here in the afterworld, where I don't know how it's even possible for things to die. Countering a counter. Hopefully we're going to do that a lot, because it really speeds up combat. Combat could really use a speed up. Every speed up it can get. Oh, where did we end up here? Surrounded by monsters. What else is new? There we go, counter again. Not as effective this time because this enemy is much tougher. Something the comments pointed out after I uploaded these last videos was that all of our combat actions... do the execution, God, whatever. All of our combat actions are based on the triggers, the right and left trigger on the controller, and are reliant on the pressure sensitivity of the triggers. So, like, if I barely push them in, I do significantly faster attacks than if I push them all the way down. And as a result, there are many, many, many attack combinations. Like if I do a short left hook and then a long right hook, that'll be a different animation than just doing a long right hook off the bat. Most attack combos have like 3 consecutive hits to them. All of which changed based on which inputs you do. It's very complicated and very hard to control. Okay, this is stealth. This game does legitimately feature stealth. I'm gonna try and stealth kill this guy. I don't know if it'll work because he's got his back against the thing. Yeah, it's not working. Won't put me in combat mode until the enemy sees me. So there might be a critical flaw with the stealth system in this game, which is you actually cannot attack until such time as the enemies have engaged you. Kinda makes it hard to do stealth. This is the strongest guy in the group, so I should not be focusing on him. Unless there was a fear mechanic, where killing the strongest guy would demoralize the others. There is no such mechanic. At least I'm pretty sure. Turns out this game is loaded with mechanics. There's a breakaway attack there. If you hit, rather than either of the triggers, the L1 button, you'll do a very fast spin move. And in the process, you'll push away from your target, which makes it very hard to actually hit your target. Typically, it is just for if you are completely surrounded and you want to hit the guys behind you. Then you use the breakaway move. And everyone who gets hit gets knocked down, so you get some breathing room. I keep missing my riposte. There it is. Parry into a block. Feels a bit unsatisfying when you play that whole game in tennis and it just gets blocked in the end. I need to recharge off the gargoyle. He may not be handsome anymore, but he is still very useful. We could have him load up on corpse juice, but that's the slowest way to recharge his energy. There are numerous other ways to get energy back. We'll try to keep him from draining corpses as much as possible, actually. Archers are actually fun to fight. They have miserable HP. Barely even try to defend themselves. Poor guys never stand a chance. There's another mechanic in combat. And I'll show it off here if I need to. Yeah, he's blocking me. So if I hit triangle, I will do a scary taunt. Ooh, I'm teasing him. And that's supposed to make him drop his guard. It did not do that there. Taunt animations are unimpressive and ineffective. So I won't be using them too much. Okay, we got a locked door there. And clearly a crack in the wall that I can squeeze through. So while Scree is draining that corpse against my wishes, I will go through a wall. And we got a lever. Yeah, I've done this in the most efficient order, accidentally. Go through the wall. Unbarricade the door, which takes 2 consecutive actions. Bring in Scree. And demand his assistance.
Don't just stand there. This thing weighs a ton.
That was way too long for Primal to go without any voice acting. Considering extremely excessive amounts of voice acting in this game. Hey, more monsters. I'm gonna squeeze past them. What are they gonna do about it? We'll probably lose them, although they can be tenacious in their pursuit of Jen and Scree. Hopefully, it seems like the music has stopped at least, so they will probably not bother me any further. I know there's a guy around here. There he is. I'm gonna try and stealth kill him. Gotta see that stealth kill. Look at him, he's dying for a stealth kill over there. Yeah, of course. Manhunt 2 style stealth. Fortunately, also Manhunt 2 style combat, where you're gonna win. Just start punching, hammer that attack button. It's all over for your target. That was a weird claw thrust move. Part of a combo that I haven't showed off yet. So I know what all the inputs are to do all the animations, but I don't know which input correlates to which animation. So I'm really just pressing buttons randomly and hoping that I get the good animations. Or at least new animations. Got a locked gate. I'm gonna get torch for Scree? Not yet. But we did need to switch to Scree right now. So this building, clearly impenetrable. Even though there is a huge crack in the wall that Jen could very certainly jump to with her new Fair Eye jumping powers. She disagrees. So we look for an alternate route. Past this corpse. Glowing, pick-upable rock in the distance. Let's go pick it up. And the dismount. Rocks are also an inefficient way to recover your energy. But I gotta do it occasionally. Just to show off that animation, because there are so many animations. Don't want to forget what they look like.
I'm not going any further without Jen.
I found the brick wall. How do we get Jen over here? First, we gotta switch to her. She's not gonna jump across. She will jump up here. Then, sidling. If Scree climbs, Jen will sidle. If Scree crimes, well, that'll just be fun. Do some crimes, Scree. Maybe later. Okay, we got a sniper. Not alerting the guards over here, but the guards have their back to this gate. So there's no way to stealth them. Maybe I could... No. Try and blend in was my plan. There we go, he's knocked down. Looked like he was stunned, but I don't think that's a mechanic. Stun just means they are susceptible to a finishing move. I have to imagine the stealth kills are just the finishing moves, but done on an enemy that still has full HP. But they might have unique animations. Considering the tremendous number of animations in this game, anything's possible. Could be like absolutely brutal manhunt kills if you manage to stealth up to an enemy. Like, they avoided an adults only rating by making the stealth almost impossible to execute. But if you pull it off, that person gets reduced to a paste. It's like a 45-minute
Could you give me some help
execution
here?
animation every single time you do it. Jen just completely goes berserk. Hacks at them over and over and over again. Maybe we'll find out whether this hypothesis is accurate. Honestly, I doubt it. I just realized Jen's parry sound effect. There it is. That is a sound this actor has probably made many, many times in her life. I learned a little bit about the voice acting in this game and why it's so good. All the characters are portrayed by, like, legitimate, extremely prolific character actors who have, like, hundreds of roles in all sorts of stuff. Much of it you've seen, but all of their roles are extremely small. Perhaps the biggest role that I'm aware of for any character in this game is Jen's voice actress, who, she also portrayed Callisto on Xena, Warrior Princess, one of the villain characters. Apparently, had a damn good time doing all the ridiculous amounts of voice acting in this game. I wish we could grab one of these things. I never noticed this weapon rack before. Hell, why stop at one? Throw this little knife on the ground. Hearn insulted us. This little poking stick. Give us one of these double scythes. Ah, well. Jen is satisfied with a poking stick, which I don't even use anymore. I've been using my claws exclusively. But there are, of course, countless animations for using the dagger. I have no idea how to get onto that rafter. Oh, I could probably climb the wall, go up and around, and then bring myself down onto the rafter. Are we invited to dinner?
Isake panukaka beap kyun salisn di santaist. Miss Babin, Alixit here vieradli. Bakin! Bakin!
Jen, we should, expect company.
No. Quite the opposite. Not a lot of hospitality. Here in the Farai Fortress. Yep. Definitely feel like I'm being murdered right now. Which is what they called everyone to do. Maybe we can just take a seat. Or dance on the table. Walk all over their meat. For a second I thought it was bread, but these are Farai. They literally only eat meat. I almost forgot. Here's the bad guys. They locked the gate behind them, because of course. There are a lot of doors in this level where we get to see them well in advance, and they're open when we see them. Then they get closed and locked, and then we'll open them ourselves like 20, 30 minutes later. It's a little frustrating. So that door there would have been a gigantic shortcut to a much later part of this level. Instead, it will be useful for backtracking way later on. Once we open that gate. But in order to open that gate, we need to do teamwork, which is a very, very slow animation. So if an enemy is in the area, they will come up and stab you, which will interrupt the animation. We can start from scratch. So we do have to kill everybody. And every barrel. I can't drain while Scree is draining. There we go, we convert yellow to green. And you can see it sort of shift colors in the middle there. Which is neat. Distract Scree from draining any more corpses.
Don't just stand there. This thing weighs a ton.
And there we go. Meanwhile, Scree gets his torch. We never know when you're going to need one of these things. It's already coming in handy. I love Scree's run animation when he has a torch. Oh, look at this pathway where you have to climb something every couple of steps. Scree's climbing animations are much faster than Jen's. So we are saving a ton of time by playing this little guy. Like, it's wild. Jen just has to reach up and then pull herself up. Scree has to leap, do a wall run, grab the ledge, and then pull himself up, and he does that way faster than Jen does. Now we need to wait for Jen so that we can initiate a cutscene.
Jen, this is a summoning stone, made from the same material as I am. If we get separated, you can use it to pull me back to you.
Okay.
And I literally mean pull. You'll see.
Jen's behind the camera somewhere. I could not turn it around through the rocks. It's one of those games where the camera has a physical hitbox. And if there are objects in the way, the camera just cannot go through them. Sometimes it will zoom in and get closer to you to go around the objects, but even then, not guaranteed. So we have a summoning stone. We can bring Scree back to us, if we are so inclined. So we now just have some Maokai. Maokai are very easy. So I don't mind killing these. And if we don't, AI Jen will attempt to anyway. Two of them are skunks, though. The hardest of the Maokai. This is another way that this game is very similar to Soul Reaver, though. It's the different factions of demons here in the underworld. The ruined underworld. Or all the architecture is broken down.
Carved at the height of his reign, before chaos descended.
Gaze upon my works, ye mighty, in despair, etc. Okay, climb is back. It's got exposed rock. Scree can climb him. It doesn't go anywhere. There's also a path over here. If we check the map, where Jen is looking, goes right up there. Jen won't jump it. Scree can't climb it, because so much of it is broken. So I don't know. Whatever. There's probably a tarot card up there. I'm trying to slash the wall, but I forgot I can't slash unless there are enemies nearby. We got a hole. That is definitely above Jen's jumping height. So we'll send in Scree. Beautiful camera angles. Out of curiosity, I'm going to play with the Summoning Stone. Because honestly, there is no other use for the Summoning Stone. I guess the implication is that Scree can go up there, do some stuff for us, and then we can summon him back. There. You reach through the portal. Literally grab Scree by the wings. Drag him on back to us. You've done enough adventuring, little guy. Yeah, this is not climbable. Nor should it be. And it wouldn't go anywhere if it was. We'll just head back up here. Now that I know how summoning stones work. Around the corner. And up to safety.
Wait there! I'll find some way to get you up!
You never separate the party, Scree. But, in this instance, it must be done. They give you a backup torch, in case you didn't grab one yet. But Scree loves his little torch. Look at him. He's like an Olympic torchbearer. Except more adorable. Really does look like he's having a blast. His face is incredibly severe, but his animations are jovial. And his personality goes to both extremes. Okay. So apparently that was our clue to solve a puzzle. I promise you I did not skip that cutscene. Maybe the PS3 version did. Because the PS3 version is inclined to skip a lot of cutscenes. And have weird interactions with everything. But whatever was supposed to happen there did not indicate much. Break all the barrels so we can get through safely. Blood all over the place.
I'm not going any further without Jen.
Scary eyes in the distance. But they're Maokai eyes. Maokai are no big deal. These are rocks we can climb. All the walls in the area, if I touch them, Scree will do a lengthy animation of climbing up onto the wall. So I need to actively avoid touching the walls right now. The walls are lava. Light it up so the Maokai don't bother me. I will say the fire effects and the smoke effects in this game, way ahead of their time. They look really, really good. So we know we have to do something in this area between the staircase and the Maokai lair. The cutscene sort of indicated this little corner, if we give it a little extra credit. And if we step in the corner, very subtle floor creaking sound effect. I stepped too far. I'm being punished. Don't you dare go back there. The camera angle shifted and I almost pushed myself right back onto the wall. To say the least, I've done that before. So, we need to deliver pot to the broken floor. That will make it lazy enough to get out of our way and stop bothering us. We got that torch. Now we're gonna blaze it. Or we're gonna light that torch. I didn't know that was even possible. I like it though. Nice touch. Then we carry the pot, the third pot, over to the corner. Clearly very heavy. The Scree can barely handle it. Now all the weight is on the broken floorboard, but it doesn't count until we put it down. Then we all go through. And we're in the dungeon.
Locked.
Okay, it's not one of those puzzles where you go through the whole thing just to unlock a door from the inside. There's a slightly discolored object. Rope. Came all this way for rope. Rope, of course, has many, many uses. If you've ever played D&D and started a campaign without rope, you are begging for the DM to murder you and your entire party. Scree, finally, has outsmarted the DM of Primal. Now we head all the way back to the top of the staircase, which is occasionally a cave. Staircase to a cave to a staircase. That's just efficient architecture. Use nature.
I'm going to drop a rope down for you. Climb on up.
Okay, don't let go now.
That won't be a concern, because Scree is a statue. So he's up there, and he's turned into a gargoyle, so as to root himself in place. That means we get to climb up. I guess he increases his mass, and therefore weight, when he becomes a inanimate statue. There he is. Statuing it up. Good stuff. Even holding the torch out. Like, that's a good pose. So much of the artwork in this game. Really solid. So many millions of animations. Ridiculously high production value. Now, unfortunately, Scree is going to stay a statue for the rest of his life. Unless we manually switch to him and deactivate statue mode. His AI is just not willing to let go of this rope. There we go. It looked like we dropped the rope, but it is still at our belt, so we probably will need it to solve future puzzles. And the team is reunited. Keep on our Olympic torch run. Summoning earthquakes, but that won't slow us down. We gotta get to Athens. The athletes are waiting for us to destroy their local economy with the Olympics. Into the Maokai lair. Maokai are scared of fire. So for all that foreshadowing, there is no actual fight here. Hey, a treasure chest. Haven't seen anything like that in the game so far. Let's kick it open. Let's literally kick it open. Same as a barrel. Super goofy animation, but it gets us a tarot card. I should probably stay as Scree. Ooh, look. This guy did not fare so well in, like, the goriest thing we've seen in the game so far. Pretty sure this exact corpse was up in the overworld, though. No, I would reuse it if I had modeled it. Up. Doing our slow steps up and down rocks. We'll want to do that.
Locked.
No dice. This clearly is not locked, though. There are pots over in the corner. I've broken, like, every single one that I found. Not a single one has yielded anything. I have 4 1-ups. Probably hold on to those. Okay, there was energy in one of the pots. It was all worth it. I've kicked, like, 20 pots. Now one of them has had a little ball of energy in it. They really undersell Jen's jumping ability, now that she is a fair eye. For one thing, she should have at least mutated her legs. The digitigrade rather than plantigrade, so that they are like the goat legs that these guys have. Because that's why they can jump so high. There is absolutely no reason why we are able to jump so high. But also our animation should have, like, sped up once we got these fancy legs. Okay, gates are locked again. So let's kill everybody. I'm gonna try and show some stuff off. There's a, like, knee attack that I can do. Haven't done that yet. You know, most voice actors despise doing video games because of all these sounds. Just exertion grunts. It's really, really hard to make them sound organic, and it's incredibly arduous on your voice to record so many of them. But the voice actress for Jen comes from Xena, where you make those exertion grunts constantly. So, brilliant casting in that way. They really hit the jackpot, and she does a great job with the character. Like, I'll be honest, the writing for Jen and Scree, to a lesser extent, it gets overbearing. Jen is so snarky, and she's not nearly funny enough to get away with all that snark. She is funny. I end up liking Jen, but it has a lot to do with the voice acting. The writing sometimes falls flat, and it's frequently just too much. Way too much. So we have 2 gates here. We know we can open this one.
Scree, could you give me some help here?
Crack that sucker open. Let's switch to Scree, because I don't think we've ever had Scree ask Jen for help on opening a gate. And for some reason, this gargantuan gate can be opened with help.
Lend me a hand here. I can't do this on my own.
There we go. Look at how big that gate is. These two can handle it. Tougher than they look. Here's another one of those doors that would be a shortcut if it weren't locked.
Someone must have secured it from the inside.
Yep. Gotta go all the way around to open that door. All the way around involves going down here, where there's another banquet hall. These Farai used to be incredibly indulgent. Just constantly gorging. They probably had vomitoriums down here somewhere. Vomitoriums, not used for vomiting. Oh, they do have those, like, hedonism bot beds. Wow. I didn't even realize how indulgent they were. Decadent. We are in an unnamed area. But I believe that symbol on the map indicates Devara's quarters. Is that her name? Devara? Devana? The queen of this area.
Locked.
Sometimes you'll press a button to get the character to do an animation, and they will go over to do it, and then forget what they were doing, and then just sort of stop before doing their animation. But we need to get through that door. The symbol is on the other side of the door. But it's locked. What are we gonna do? Surely something in this room solves the puzzle. Maybe this statue on a creaky, about to break pedestal. Nothing we can interact with. We could go and touch every single thing in the room, and it wouldn't solve the puzzle. So I guess we gotta go back and figure out something in a different room. Now, when you try to go back, it arbitrarily causes an earthquake to occur, which solves the problem. Giving up was the puzzle. I got a little frustrated my first time through this room. And there's no snarky comments about, like, the ridiculousness of what they just put us through. That was a perfect opportunity for snark. Darkened Sky would have snarked there. That's my gold standard for excessively snarky video games. There's a lot of different routes we can take now. What is... Okay, we're pretty low on energy. As a result, I am going to use foreknowledge to climb over here, parkour my way up the wall. Head down here, or if I'm not mistaken, somewhere nearby is an object of desire. Yeah, I passed it. Nice. These crystals fill up your energy ridiculously fast, and are by far the best way to fill up your energy.
No.
There's a shortcut if we go all the way to the end of the path. The path is much, much longer than you might expect. Now, I like Darkened Sky a lot. Anyone enjoying this game would probably also like Darkened Sky. However, it is the immeasurably more janky version of this game. Also much sillier. But similar vibes, surprisingly. It It also had a preposterously long script with just constant voice acting between its two protagonists.
The heart of the Ferai Court. How can it have come to this?
We already know. A doppelganger took the throne and made everything break. Like, apparently, a couple, I guess, decades? I don't know how long-lived these monsters are. They're in the underworld, so they're probably immortal. In fact, Scree is constantly calling them immortals. Or rather, he refers to humans as mortals. So the implication is the demons are not mortal. Ern may have been meant to abdicate centuries, millennia ago. Long enough for stone pillars to collapse, I guess. I got a big-ass key. Right off the throne. Once again, no snark whatsoever. Just missed opportunities. Maybe they're cooling it now. They ran out of script. Unfortunately. Oh, we should probably save. Whatever.
Now, what brings outsiders to the Ferai Court? If you're looking for the king, I think he has other things on his mind.
Like trying to figure out what you've done with...
Well, hang on now, Jen. Let's not set off on the wrong foot.
Bakin! Char ubek neras.
Oh, they went right to violence. Peace was never an option. A lot of enemies, too. We've never seen this many at once. It'd be nice to get rid of the shield people first. But we want the last enemy to be a shield wielder. Because they are less aggressive than the others. That means we'll have an opportunity to heal. If we try to heal right now, these guys will sneak up behind us and backstab us over and over again. Interrupt the animation. All that good stuff. I wish there was a devil trigger mode in this game. Speed up these combats. It seems like there would be, like, her hands are already glowing. Just make it so her whole body glows, and she demonizes a little more. Would have been a great opportunity. Since they clearly didn't want to make her too demonic looking. She's still like 90% Gen, 10% demon. Which I'll never forgive them for. But it was 2003. Monster fuckers had yet to infiltrate the entire game design quarter of art. Little did they know, they were, like, secretly closet monster fuckers working on this game and many others in the mainstream gaming scene. But they had to be subtle, lest they out themselves. To kill this guy without dying. It's getting close. I won't die, I have 1-ups. Those 1-up crystals. I'm about to use one. Yeah, I used one. Damn it all. I was really trying to save those. Especially because, like, now I can back off a little. Freely heal myself. Yeah. I could have spent all day healing right there. I was like 2 or 3 hits away from being able to do that freely. It's why I filled up Scree beforehand. Oh well. it's more climactic if this gigantic melee results in one of our deaths. Let me kick it down.
Just stand there. This thing weighs a ton.
Oh yeah, Jen really should have gotten way more goat-like. You'll be unsurprised to hear that there are other transformations. We'll see if they are more satisfying when we get to them. Like, that's the thing the game manual tells you, and the back of the box. It's nigh impossible to go into this game without knowing there are multiple transformations. So it's not really a spoiler. Just so we're clear, forgiving myself. In case I ruin the game experience for anybody. Where do I want to go next? I believe it's up the pathway behind this guy here. Which he's not guarding at all. I could run past him. But I got frustrations to take out. On his ugly monster face. Hate monster faces. I'm glad Jen doesn't have one. Actually, her face is like the only thing that got monsterized. There we go. Staircase. I'd love to light the fireplace. Not an option. I know this fortress. There's a crack in the wall up there, which is basically the exact height that Jen can jump. But she refuses to. And she refused to the last time we were here. This is the other side of the gatehouse. I do not believe there is any reason at all to open this.
Don't just stand there. This thing weighs a ton.
The level design in this area is very strange. It is extremely open world in a game that is incredibly linear. At least this part of the game. Very, very linear. There's plenty of backtracking, but the fastest way to do the backtracking is just go back the way you came. Usually. Opening new options does not actually help you very much most of the time. This door is still locked. This door is not because we opened it earlier. So, in we go. See a sucker. We head out here. We got this key. We don't know why. We stole it from the throne room. But we don't know where it goes. We don't know what it does. We don't know a damn thing about this key. After I kill this guy, I want to get Jen to a safe place, i.e. underneath the wall where the archers are. I'm going to switch characters, because Scree got lost. I think we were supposed to go up here. Oh, this is really far back. Scree hasn't been by my side for like 5 minutes. Luckily, it will not take 5 minutes to get back to where Jen just was. Just down, over, up, and around. Past the rubble. The rather inconvenient rubble. Jen is probably hurtling towards my location right now. And if she gets here, she will pick a fight with every enemy that I ran past earlier. Did not make it, though. So let's reunite the team. Jen's clearly eager to do so. They're back down here. And, discuss the game plan.
Okay, what's next?
The key we've got might open that ornate locked door we passed earlier.
Okay, an ornate locked door. We passed several locked ornate doors. First, we want to find this rift gate. We found it. But the locked door was back inside the fortress. So, back in we go. Slow down a little to make sure AI Jen is keeping up. Yeah, there she is. Oh, she's gonna link to the first enemy she sees. Unless I'm controlling her. Just serpentine out of here. We keep hearing basically the same fight music. There are either 10 or 11 unique fight tracks in this game. All by the band 16 Volt. Okay, we did the animation twice. That means we unlocked the door, then opened it. To get into Jared's rooms. Sounds like a charity. Maybe it is. What does Jared keep over the fireplace? Just a family crest. And a bunch of weapons. There are weapons absolutely everywhere in the Farai village. There does seem to be, like, legitimate political concerns beyond the entire area crumbling. There seem to be implications of class inequality and poor leadership, lack of trust. But as far as Scree is concerned, it's just chaos has broken in and sown dissent against good King Hearn, who is clearly infallible and can only do things correctly and for the good of his people. The only reason he stopped is because his son was kidnapped. But he didn't tell the town that. He just told them, I'm gonna stay king forever, and you're gonna deal with it. Maybe just talking to people and having them go find Jared for him. Because they do seem to be loyal to both Hearn and Jared. Maybe all that would have solved the problem. But no, we have to solve the problem. As the arbiters of Alora's justice. The Order God. I forget the name. These fantasy names are super generic. But as I hear them more and more, I get a better sense for them. That's why Jen is my favorite character name in this whole game. I can remember it. It's also generic. It's probably the most common female name in the year 2003. Hence why I played, like, nearly 10 video games where Jen is either a main character or the protagonist. It's not some conspiracy or shared universe, it's just an absurdly common name. This was probably an excellent opportunity to do a stealth kill. This guy wasn't looking at anything. Just entranced by that wall. One way or another, he's dead. Probably not any slower than the stealth kill, since you gotta creep up for a super long time. And I remind you, this is our stealth animation. which is performed by barely touching the analog stick. Any more than that and you start running. Got a skinned bear. What really would have brought this level to life? Wildlife. Random wildlife, like grazing in the background. Wouldn't even have to be able to interact with them. They wouldn't have to do anything, just animations of them maybe wandering a little bit. Doing some light grazing. I'd have appreciated it. So there's the door we've seen before. For my trouble, I got shot in the kidney. Which barely bothers me. What do I care? I got 2. Maybe Screw can donate. If I lose the other one. Surely our blood types are compatible. Surely Scree has blood. Where am I headed now? Oh, Divana's rooms. Perfect. Divana, like, burrowed a tunnel between her rooms and Jared's. Which you would think would have disturbing implications, but she's, kidnapping her family and what have you. This guy is teleporting around and invisible and incredibly dangerous. We saw this exact glitch in Darkened Sky, where like a random, basic, very weak enemy fell through the floor and became an immortal, unstoppable killing machine. More keys.
Check this out. One of these must be the key we're after.
Excellent. Let's get straight back to Jared.
So this is very hard to remember. Because it was like 2 hours ago. In game time. I think the first video is when we met Jared. And we're told... No, it would have been the second video, but like early in the second video. This guy's still invisible and invincible. Let's get the hell out of here. Jared wanted us to apparently find a key. He wanted us to find something, and he would not leave his cell until we did so. We have now done so. Just get my bearings. Yeah, we want to get to the lower area. So I think I want to stay down here. We open that one gate. So I can head back to the ivory door I opened earlier. There it is. Pass through and head... Now that was to the banquet hall. We want to go up. Take an arrow right through the throat. Fine by me. Shake it off. Enemies have respawned and I don't care. They might follow me back and try to bother me. But if I'm fast enough, they probably won't. There we go. Jared was all the way back in the burial grounds. Oh, they're bothering me. Aha! I'm locked in a canned animation. See ya, sucker. Hope you can't use portals. 'Cause I can. Let's close it behind us. And that guy doesn't have any friends, so he can't turn the 2 valves at the same time. So as to chase us. We are free. Back to the graveyard. So the soundtrack in this game is extremely sparse. There's a little music sting there. And otherwise the original score has only appeared in cutscenes. Most of the game is completely silent. This game was nominated for a BAFTA for its original soundtrack, not the 16-volt music, which is much more prevalent throughout the game, and clashes with the original music. I need to get Scree over here. Top off my health. As Jared is down in the prison, and he's got a lot of guards. There he is. I tried to slash him, but this is Jared. You can tell he's missing his horn. But he looks like a scary, especially dangerous new type of enemy. Instead, he's a scary, especially dangerous new friend. He'll actually, like, help us fight. He doesn't do very much, but he does set enemies into stun animations, which we can then take advantage of. He can't kill anybody, but he can knock them dizzy, and then we can finish them. And he can swear at them in Farai language. He'll keep the enemy attention split, even though, as far as I know, he can't die in combat. It is fun. Makes combat a bit better. Have our friend here. Once again, it's parry, parry, block. That keeps happening. So much work for essentially nothing to happen. The camera does not like being in such close quarters with Jared.
No.
Oh, Scree is draining corpses. Let's get him over here. But there's more combat to do. There's no cutscene where you reunite with Jared. It feels like there should be. It's been a super long time since we've seen Jared. He should be surprised to see us and, like, hopeful that it means good things have occurred. Hope this guy stays distracted, because I need to heal. They know when to attack, that's for sure. There's the back strike to get people off you while you are doing combat with another. That's a good combo. I believe that is short left, long right. To do a punch and then a leaping downward strike. Which seems to be pretty damaging. Yeah. Short left, long right. Keep that one in my back pocket.
No.
And he's draining corpses again, this guy. Loves drinking souls. So we wanted to clear out this door. Camera's having a hard time. Jin will not interact with the door.
It must be locked from the other side. We're not getting in this way.
Maybe the worst line of voice acting from Jen's actress. So we came all this way. We got an entire ring of keys. So as to solve the conspiracy, that's where the conspiracy is, behind that door. So the keys really should unlock that door, but they don't. We need to go back where Jared was being held captive. Check out the cells. Check him out for what, though? Check him out for suspiciously high ceilings. Because in this cell is a lodestone and a hole in the wall. A wall that can be climbed. Eat the lodestone. Gonna need a snack for a long journey up this wall. The journey is concluded. You wouldn't know it, though, because My feet are not touching ground. Not to be overly harsh to a PS2 game that has lots and lots of very impressive animations. Technical glitches like that, more than acceptable and mildly amusing. That's why I like pointing them out. I think they're good. I want more glitches like that. So there we go. Just walk around, open the door. Bring our team back. I'm gonna stay as Jen, because I need Jared to follow me. He seems to follow Jen better than Scree. I'm gonna put the camera in front of me, make absolutely certain he stays close by. He's injured, so he runs slower than the rest of the party. And if he gets stuck on a corner, he's not coming with you. Can't even tell you how frustrating it is if Jared does not follow you. Then you get all the way over here. I drain this crystal. Very promptly. You run all the way over here, you get to this clearly locked door. You don't save your game. And then a cutscene happens.
You have the key.
Yes, it was in the Queen's chambers, just as you said.
Only Jared can use this key.
Thank you.
If I came here without him, we would just be stuck at an impenetrable door. Only Jared knows how to hang the keychain on the door handle.
Permit me to go first, Highness. Who knows what we may find?
My mother is in there. I have nothing to fear.
I'm sorry, Jared.
Don't be. My friends, I don't need your pity. I need your help. I must destroy this thing that has so defiled my mother.
Of course, we'll do anything.
First, we must unmask the imposter. Do you know any way to break the enchantment?
I don't know. The creature has retained my mother's form, while these remains have stayed free from corruption. There is some dark necromancy at work here. Those chants I heard came from this chamber.
Fire.
What?
The spell must be broken. With your permission, Highness, we should cremate the body.
Let it be done. Mother, how did this befall us?
It's done.
What now?
Now, I will have my revenge.
The hex is broken. But you are too late to save your kingdom.
Not too late to tear your head off.
That too, boy. My final act as Davina was to order her most loyal guards to this chamber, expressly to kill you, their broken prince, along with this feeble mortal and her scuttling stone. Death. Right on time.
No! You've been deceived!
Oh, we tried to talk our way out of this. For some reason, that didn't work. These guys think they are following Davina, who is clearly burned to a crisp in the middle of the room, with a monster who has her face melted off on the far end of the room. Very obviously, they should not be attacking us if loyalty to Davina is the only reason. However, the fact that they are willing to betray her in the first place strongly implies that there was legitimate political strife and, like, people unhappy with Hearn and its rule before the doppelganger even showed up. And I really wish they would delve into it more. There was so much voice acting early in the game. And now when it would really, like, explain things and deepen what's going on, it's gone dry. What voice acting there is solid. They brought some pathos to the cremation scene, which is not easy to do with PS2 character models. This game is incredibly PS2 core. There's a big revival of PS1 style games, and I appreciate it a lot. But you can tell a big reason for that is PS1 aesthetic permits a small group of amateur game developers to emulate it very accurately within one lifetime. PS2 is just advanced enough that we aren't really at that point yet. We're close, but you have to be, like, really good to make a PS2 style game that's more than, like, 15 minutes long and doesn't take you 1,000 years to develop. But yeah, there's some Game of Thrones nonsense going on in this kingdom, but we don't care. All we care about is one demon who infiltrated the throne room. That's literally all that matters to us. Bit of a shame. They could have replaced some of the backtracking with a little intrigue. Or less intrigue would also have worked. Like if they just made it dirt simple, where we, like, kill the doppelganger, and then the guards see us killing Davana, and then maybe we find Davana's corpse or something. And then the guards cease attacking us. Something like that. Jared, help me out here. This'll do. This'll do just fine. But yeah, they made it honestly too interesting for them to not explore it more. Arguably a good problem to have, but wouldn't be a problem at all if they dumbed it down a shade. Oh well. It'll all be over soon. We just need to murder more Farai, who are currently doing what they believe to be in the kingdom's best interests. And Scree honestly agrees. Scree is disappointed that Hearn refused to abdicate, and so too are the Farai.
Stop! All of you!
My lord.
Silence! My beloved boy. Silence. Guards, take up your arms. Serve your king, and see that this dissembling hag does not move. Jared, alive. My prayers are answered.
I let you down, Father. If I had not been captured, none of these
You've
terrible...
changed, Jared, but I have been nothing but blind. A sovereign fool. Now you must be forever vigilant. Fight with your mind as well as your sword. And know that your mother and I are always with you.
I have much to tell you. We had no choice but to cremate my mother.
Enough! The ritual of succession has been delayed all too long. Now that you are safe, our kingdom can be strong once more. Only one task remains.
Are you ready to lead, King Jared?
I am ready. My people have much to thank you for. I will not forget you.
Oh, Jen fell asleep.
Who is that with Belazor?
I was too far away to see clearly. It could have been anyone.
You recognized Belazor, right?
Well, of course I did, but you mortals all look the same to me.
Mortal? What, it was a human?
Not exactly. The reach of chaos is long, and its demons take many forms. It must have been another of Abaddon's servants. Come on, we must return to the Nexus.
Bonus feature unlocked, eh? So I'm glad Phil5991 in chat pointed this out. The traditional method of abdication we saw in a cave painting is a crown of something. We didn't get a full explanation, but some kind of crown that, like, brutally kills the current leader. Another huge missed opportunity for violence. There could have been much more body horror on the melting doppelganger, instead of her face just getting a little smeared. Looked like melting makeup. I don't know, a lot of missed opportunities. Seems like they had to cobble together an ending to that whole scenario. But that was the end of that scenario. When we return to Primal for the PS2, we will move on to an entirely new area for the game. No more snowy winter wonderland full of goat people. But we will retain our goat powers. We earned them. We're keeping them. We used our leaping powers 2 times. Both in the same little area. Right outside of the room where we got them in the first place. So yeah, I could have used more violence. I could constantly use more body horror. But still, having a good time. I'm hoping for more good stuff when we return to Primal for the PS2. Let's make sure to save. You always want to save. As a bit of an Achilles heel of the PS1, PS2 era. And get on out of here. This Friday, I'll be playing more Primal. The stream will be about half an hour to a full hour late, because I am hosting a speedrun marathon during my normal stream times. See you then, if you want more Primal.